All right, welcome everyone again to my second video of this F-150, this majestically awesome black F-150 XLT. This is going to be the driving video. We're gonna go take this truck for a drive on some city streets and some freeway streets, but I wanted to at least give you a quick walk around very quickly, very fast. Before we go do that, please take a look at the other video that's on my channel. That's a complete 30+ minutes of a walk around, inside, outside, exterior, under the hood, under the truck, for a more detailed look at it. But this is an amazing, rust-free, 4.2 liter, 6-cylinder F-150 XLT Supercab with a Flareside bed, captain's chairs inside, a factory power sunroof. It's black, it's got polished aluminum wheels, 255 series tires. It doesn't get much better than this, you guys. This is an awesome truck in great condition that's been really well cared for, with a lot of new parts that I will tell you about as we go for a drive here. So if you're ready to, we're gonna get in here. Here's a little look at the interior real quick before we go for a drive, and I'm gonna hop in here and we're gonna go for that drive. So here we go. All right, so here we go. We're going to drive on some city streets, and we're going to drive on some freeway streets, freeway roads at higher speed, to show you just how nice this truck drives. It's smooth and it's quiet, sits up at a nice height, you know, even though it's a two-wheel drive truck, it sits up at a nice height. The seats are super comfortable. As I mentioned on my other video, love these seats. It's got good power. As I mentioned in my other video, it's the 6-cylinder, yes, but this 6-cylinder is not a dog by any means. I mentioned in my other video, I personally owned a 1999 F-150 for many years that had a lot more mileage than this, with the same engine with a manual transmission. And even though you can control the gears with a manual transmission and how much acceleration you get out of each gear, it still is not a slouch by any means. The 6-cylinder does great. It's got great power. The factory horsepower rating is 202, so it's not bad, even knowing that number. Shift's perfect, ride's nice, smooth, tires are quiet. Take a look at the other video if you'd like to see more details about the inside, outside, under the hood, under the truck. It's about 30 minutes long of me talking about it and everything I know about it. Super miles. Look at the miles. Can you see the miles from there? 156. I mean, it's about half the mileage that it should be, you know, when you really think about it. This truck should have like double the mileage that it does. So great miles on this truck. I've just had it serviced, as I mentioned on the other video. It has new brakes and rotors, calipers, brake hoses, and the front wheel bearings repacked with new wheel seals in the front. It has fresh oil, it has a new muffler. Also has new intake gaskets and isolator bolts, which is very common on this 4.2 liter. So that's been done. Won't need done again for a long time. Tires have about half-life, and they're white letter tires, which is a nice look on the truck. They're nice and smooth and quiet. The rear brakes have about 8 millimeters remaining life, and it has disc brakes in the rear, which some of these had drum brakes, but this has disc brakes in the rear, and they've got about 8 millimeters, so they've got plenty of time left on the rear brakes as well. Tesla. This truck has a factory power sunroof. What a rarity. Rarity to find that in this time period. This truck is optioned and equipped exactly like I would want one to be if I was going to own it right now. There's 55 miles an hour. Nice and smooth and straight. I commented on my other video, keep watching on this video. This steering wheel leather is the nicest I have seen in a long time for one of these Ford steering wheels. It's so hard to find a nice steering wheel that's of this era that's still in good shape. This is so nice and smooth and clean and not discolored, and all of the stitching is in good shape. It's amazing. Previous owner had this truck, I don't think I've said this yet on this video, for 16 years. 2007 with 60,000 miles until current. And thank you for watching my presentation about it here today. I like this body style better than that body style. The body style we're driving was from 1997. Yeah, 1997 to 2003. That body style in front of us started in 2004. Got a little bit bigger and a little boxier, quite frankly. But this body style, this generation right here, has a fantastic reputation for durability and longevity. So, just a great, solid truck. Built Ford tough, like they say. Built Ford tough. Those newer ones have a fancy screen in the middle that when you start them, they show the same piece of concrete falling and breaking the concrete with rivets in it or whatever it is. It says Built Ford Tough. It shows up on the screen when you start the truck. But who needs all that fancy stuff, right? This has everything. As I said on the other video, in my opinion, this has everything that you need, everything you could want. It has way more creature comforts than I was used to in my 1999. This has power windows, power locks, power mirrors, cruise control, a CD changer in the center console. I mean, this is like a Lincoln of an F-150 truck. Two complete sets of keys, two original Ford keys with two brand new keyless remotes as well. Right there. Thank you for watching and joining and commenting. Please leave any suggestions or comments that you like. As I always say, I try to make every video better than the last, so please feel free to leave your comments and suggestions accordingly. Hopefully any constructive criticism is appreciated. Look at that newer Ranger right there. It's about the size of this truck. Those newer, and then look at, there's an S10 from back in this time period. The smaller trucks, or what were supposed to be smaller, what I'm trying to say is the S10 that I just caught a glimpse of right there is about the size of what the Ranger would have been back in the era of the Ranger from when that S10 was from, back in the early 2000s or late 90s. And now that Ranger truck, that brand new one that we just saw, that orange color, is darn near about the size of this F-150. And, you know, Ranger's supposed to be a small truck, and F-150 is supposed to be a big truck. But now F-150s are even bigger than this. Well, I normally would have paused because of traffic that it takes to get to the freeway, but I think we'll just keep going here, and you can just keep riding along, and we're headed towards the freeway. So if you want to skip forward a little bit, you'll see the freeway segment. And I'm just going to keep recording, and you can keep watching, get a few more miles of driving in here, see what other interesting cars we see. Everything can last if you take good care of it. That's my opinion and belief. I remember a friend of mine many years ago had a Ford truck just like this, but it was four-wheel drive. It was also black. It was a Lariat. And last I knew, before he had moved out west, it had 375,000 miles. It had a V8. It didn't have this 6-cylinder, but it was this same generation F-150. My 1999 that I've spoke of on this video and my previous video, it had well over 200,000 miles, and it ran wonderfully. A lot of fond memories of that truck, and my dog in that truck. All right, wow, what a wonderful traffic day. Here we go. Green light, maybe that one will turn by the time we get there. We're getting close to the freeway. While we stop, if we get stopped at this one for a second, I'm going to show you. Do you ever make car noises like that when you're driving? Now it turned green. The original window sticker's laying down here on the floor, and at some point when we get stopped, I'll show you this on this drive. I also show it in detail on the walk around video, but this truck was $27,570 new. If I had to guess, a similar truck today is probably close to double that, probably around 50 grand, I would assume, maybe more. But nice options and equipment. That sunroof was a big option. The 355 rear end axle was an option. The larger 255 series tires was an option. Automatic transmission was an option. And then the CD changer, don't forget that. I mean, that's really important. The sunroof was like $810 for the option back then. I mean, that's a lot of money back then, and that'd be kind of a lot today, but that money today would probably be $1,500. So it's kind of no wonder why a lot of people didn't buy sunroofs on these trucks back then. Sunroof isn't really something you think of on a truck, but in my opinion, it's just something nice to have. Forgot to mention on my other walk around video about these OSH handles that are here that are nicely placed for helping your mother or grandmother to get up in the truck. There we are at 70 miles an hour. Cruising nice and straight and smooth. Cruise control works. I'll demonstrate that here in a second. Another thing I love about this truck for like summertime when you just want some fresh air and you don't want to run the air conditioning is, move over here, these pop-out windows in the back. Love those. Love those pop-out windows. I love those as much as I love the, I mentioned on the other video, the triangle windows, like in the older Lincoln Town cars that had the triangle windows that you could just crack a little bit. Some people call them the smoker's window, but perfect for just a little bit of fresh air. Another thing this sunroof's good for is you can vent it like this and just get a little bit of fresh air that way also. So I probably should stop playing with buttons. So cruise control on and set. So cruise is set. You can see the little green light came on down there in the lower right. I've got it set at 67 miles per hour. No feet. Right there. Accelerate. There we go. Up to 71. Cruise works perfectly, and I'm gonna cancel that cruise control because it looks like this old Chevy truck in front of us is going a little slow. Looks like picking up scrap. Miles an hour. It's just smooth, smooth, smooth all the way. There is absolutely nothing negative about this truck, drivability wise or condition wise. You can watch the other video to see my presentation of the condition, and there's very few flaws of anything that I point out. A little bit of tiny rust bubbles at the bottom of a couple of the doors, but the paint is beautiful, the truck is beautiful, the drive is beautiful, the running condition is beautiful, and the options are fantastic. "75 miles an hour is smooth as can be. You can see how smooth the steering wheel is. There's no shakes or shimmies or anything like that. The brakes are perfect, of course, as they should be because they're brand new. I'm going to apply them right here in a second. We're going to get off at this exit. So I'm going to push the brake hard. There you go. Nothing but perfect and smooth. I'm going to turn around and go back the same way that we just came. Wow, I'm catching every green light. Couldn't go better, quite frankly. I'm going to go back the same way we just came. While I have a moment not driving at high speed, I'll show you this option list here. There you go. Check it out. 27,570 when it was new. There's the basic options. Fuel mileage. There it is again. Sorry, trying to hold it still. But unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable. I mean, it's believable. It's just definitely getting close to $30,000 for this truck in 2002 was probably on the more expensive side. But what a bargain today. What a bargain today. If you're interested, feel free to contact me. My phone number is in the description down below. that acceleration? It's great. I did that on purpose. I pushed it down a little farther than you probably normally would to get on the freeway and get up to speed. It's great power. It's not like a tiny four-cylinder where you gotta keep hoping the gerbils are running on the wheel under the hood to make the power to take off. This does fine. It does absolutely fine. There's 75 miles an hour again. Kick it up to 80 here real quick. There we go, right there. There's 80 miles an hour. Still smooth as can be. Here comes a Ford something gonna race by us. Fusion. Alright, slow down a little bit. Please take a look at the other video if you want to see this truck in more detail. Should be right next to this one on my channel. What a great traffic day. There's like hardly anybody out here. Fantastic day for making a video. Oh, look at that. See that? I have to pay attention while I'm making videos because I'll have people comment, a $1 million car drove by right in front of him and he didn't even notice it. Well, I did notice it, but I try not to be terribly distracted, but that was kind of cool. Well, after 22, almost 23 minutes of driving, I would think that you have a pretty darn good idea how darn fantastically nice that this F-150 is. This truck is nothing less than amazing. Does everything right. It's quiet, rides nice, the seats are comfortable, doesn't cost a lot of money. A lot less than what it costs new, and it's just got great features and options. It's been well cared for, completely up on the maintenance, and it's ready to go and ready to drive, which is how I like to present them. So thank you so very much for watching and listening to me and taking a look. And be sure to check out the other video on my channel of the walk around of this truck. inside, outside, under the hood, under the truck. You'll see it all. And thanks so much for watching, and please reach out to me if you have any questions or you'd like to see it, and please leave your comments and suggestions, as well as subscribing. And if you like what I do, why not, right? I'm an amateur, but I enjoy what I do. I enjoy to present and talk about these cars to you guys, and I love that people gain benefit from my videos and insight, and often say that my video was helpful to them in whatever way. That makes me feel really good, so I appreciate that. Thanks so much, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.